I don't know why I said. Ugh. Hey, it's Fat Albert. Actually, not as fat as last year's preview. A little slimmer. I think I mentioned in the first video of my Red Sox part one of my season preview that was only going to be a one-parter, but I felt part one left a lot to be desired. So since I desired it, and since I have the technology, I'm on to part two. But yeah, a little bit lighter in the weight category this year, which is a good thing. I think I had joked in the first video that the Red Sox stressed me out so much last year that it made me go on a hunger strike, or that it curbed my appetite. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I just to try to do a little bit more discipline in the food and a little more exercise in general, and yeah, it worked. So anyway, enough of that nonsense. Yeah, I didn't like how the other one. I didn't watch much of it. I don't like to watch too much of these things because then it will discourage me from doing them. I just try to make sure that they upload, and that the objective is not so much um, views, or anything going viral. The only thing that's gone viral in the last decade or so for me has been my influenza. I don't know. Anyway, um, um, yeah. So good joke, Luke. All right, so we're on to part two of my Red Sox preview because I don't think I was specific enough in the first part, and maybe I can be a little bit more specific where it's later in the day. The first video, I think it was about 6 in the morning. I don't think I did a good job with it, but I think my predictions were for the Cubs to win the World Series. I'll stand by that, and the reason being that our uh, our former stud ace pitcher John Lester is pitching for the Cubs now, and I think he's going to do a great job for Chicago and earn every penny of his salary. Although he didn't do so great on opening night, but it's a long year. If we went by one game, if we just had a one game season, well, we'd have Clay Buchholz as the Cy Young, and the odds of that happening are not very high in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I did want to kind of touch on some positives with the Red Sox. I think it's great that they have some offense. At least they'll have a little bit more edge this year. With Big Panda coming into the fold, Pablo Sandoval. Hopefully, this weight issue that he seems to have won't all of a sudden start biting him in the ass this year. It's never good. Speaking, not as an athlete, but just in general, as for myself, that nothing really good can happen from having not being in shape, especially if you're an athlete. You know, I think that he kind of owes it to himself to get in the best shape he possibly can. But um, with baseball, a lot of it too is just hand-eye coordination. And just being able to get the bat around on the ball. And I would assume that when you're heavier, that it takes a lot more torque or whatever to get that bat around. So just common sense to me would be that the fitter you are, the faster your bat speed would be. So as good as he is now, why not get in the best shape of your life, Panda, and see if you can do even better than what you're doing now. Because when you're not in shape, you saw what happened with Cecil Fielder. You lose it in a hurry. So all right, that's that. And so they got him, and then they got Hanley Ramirez, and Hanley had a great game opening day, got 2 homers. And, I expect him to have a pretty decent year as long as he can stay healthy, and he's already wealthy. I don't know about how wise he is. He doesn't seem too wise to me. Maybe a wise ass, but well, if he can stay healthy, and it's a lot of baseball too, guys just staying healthy, and not only healthy but just have an attitude that they don't want to be taken out of the lineup under any circumstances. You don't want a bunch of Jacoby Ellsbury's on your team. You want guys more with a Pedroia type of mentality, just that they just want to run through walls to win. So I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to a lot more runs. I think that Porcello, or however you say it, Porcello, sounds like something you'd order at the order at some North End joint. I'll have the Porcello with a side order of fettuccine, please. Uh, it's always fun to make up your own jokes when you talk. When you just talk to nobody, when you're doing a monologue, and you just start making yourself laugh. It's always it's both fun and disturbing at the same time. But anyway, so the rest of the starting rotation, to be honest, I really don't know much about these guys. They got Miley Cyrus there, who's their Wade Miley, whatever his name is, number 3 starter. I, they got. It seems like to me they got a rotation of number 3 starters, which is kind of okay because if you got 5 number 3s, that's like having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I never get it, but I mean, if you got 5 guys, between Buckholz, Miley, um, and the other 3, we go with the names. I'm not the greatest with names. But anyway, so you got the 5-man rotation, and if you could get 5 guys who are pitching, like a number 3, which would probably be like maybe like 14, 15 wins and an ERA around 4, and if that offense can just keep firing all cylinders all year, and if the moon was made out of green cheese, and uh, a lot of ifs with this team, but the blessing is that they play in the AL East. See that? I didn't say AL East. I said AL East because I think it's the least talented division in the major leagues. So it's just it's anybody's division really. There's no great powerhouse team, and there's no really weak sisters of the floor either. So it's a bunch of teams that are about average at best, and whoever stays the healthiest will take the division. So I guess this is basically what part 2 is, just basically fleshing out um, my State of the Union on the Sox this year. You really can't complain. What I grew up with the Red Sox was a lot of heartache and just upset, just totally, especially like in '78, just broke my heart, man. God, I can still remember the pain I was feeling that year. And of course, '86. I remember '86 being, I probably talked about this before, being down Kenmore Square. I was at some bar. I guess I had a fake ID. I don't know how I got in there, but we were all watching the final inning. I think we were at the baseball tavern, and we were watching the final inning, and the inning that Mookie got the big hit there, and they had the first 2 outs, and every time the Mets would get another hit, we're all up at the bar with the bottles chanting "So what? So what? So what?" And you remember stuff like that like it was yesterday. '86 is like how many years? Almost 30 years now. And I mean, some things you just never forget. And I never forget leaving the bar that night and walking out onto we went to Kenmore Square, Lansdowne Square. Where were they now? Brookline Avenue, I guess that would be, and right across the street from Fenway Park, and just seeing all these Mets fans running up and down the street, going crazy, and just really just wanting to just jump out into the middle of Starrow Drive. Oh man, so that was '86, and then there was a bunch of other seasons after that, where especially 2000, 2003, I guess the year before they won the World Series, and I was working as a bouncer at a bar, and the night that Brett Boone or one of those Boones hit the homer off of Wakefield to win the series for the Yankees, and I remember a guy picking up a chair wanting to challenge me, you know, hit me over the head with the chair because the Yankees beat the Sox. So a lot of memories, and a lot of it was sad, but they've more than made up for it with the 3 World Series in the last decade or so. So I really can't complain. I'm happy. I'm far from a pink hat. I guess I'm a gray hat today. I've lived and died with the Sox my whole life. And so these are some good times. And all right, I'm done. I guess, and also, if the Sox can't do it, I do hope the Cubs can do it because I've been to Chicago. I always loved the Cubs because I loved when I was a kid. We had the Cubs channel. I loved Harry Carey, and I love Will Ferrell's impression of Harry Carey. We'd have the Cubs on every day, and then when I visited Chicago, I just felt right at home there. And the people went to this bar called Cubby Bear, and it was like I felt like I was amongst friends. And I loved Wrigley Field, and I loved Comiskey, and I just loved Chicago. So my kind of town, Chicago is. All right, I'm done here, and that's part two. And I think that about wraps it up. And as usual, adios. Go Sox.